Hey guys, it's Anthony Bandiero here, attorney and senior legal instructor for Blue to Go Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another roadside chat from Dickinson, North Dakota, right? Literally a roadside chat. I'm in my car. All right, so Anthony, the other day we had a traffic stop where an officer asked a driver and 3 passengers to step out of the car because the officer observed 2 of the passengers making furtive movements, and everyone in the car had extensive criminal histories. Once out of the car, the driver and the passenger became verbally confrontational and did not want to do what the officer asked, which was sit on the curb. The officer conceded and let the driver and the passenger stand while the stop was completed, but this gave the driver and the passengers more confidence in their defiance, and they ended up calling the officer and back up a punk, some other choice words that are not appropriate for a family channel like this, and so forth, right? So what are the officer's powers and limitations in that situation as far as controlling the occupant's movements or telling them to sit or stand in a specific place and tell them to put their hands on the car, etc.? In this situation, if the officer has made an arrest for the driver or passenger's refusal to sit on the curb, do you think it would have been a good arrest? All right, let me just tell you, first of all, there is no case specifically saying what you can and cannot do when it comes to these movements. We have plenty of cases that, you know, where the Supreme Court said you can get people out of the car. Hell, you can tell people to stay in the car. This officer is from Illinois, right? We have plenty of cases that say you can control passengers. We also have plenty of cases that say that officers are allowed to direct and, you know, control these occupants for officer safety. But there's no case out there that says you can make them stand and put their hands on the hood, or you can make them sit on the curb. Not necessarily, but we just have this general overlying, you know, officer safety rationale. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is how I look at it. If you are giving them an order and it's reasonable, right? You have reasons to believe furtive movements, that they could be a flight risk and so forth, and you say sit on the curb, and they're not sitting on the curb, then you have the authority to make sure that that's an indicator they may try to flee. You already had other reasons. And if you know, maybe this is the time to put handcuffs on that person to make sure they're not a flight risk. If they fight you on that, that's obviously, you know, resisting, right? And you know, and so forth. But I guess what you're going to have to do is just make good case law, right? Articulate why you want them to sit on the curb. If they won't sit on the curb, you go from there. But if you're like, have no reason to put them to sit on the curb, and like, it's like Las Vegas or Phoenix in the middle of summer, and they're like, dude, I'm not sitting, you know, on that curb because it's 115 degrees. Maybe that makes sense. Or you got a guy in a business suit and he's like, I'm not sitting, you know, on that retaining wall. I'm not sitting on that sidewalk because this is a, you know, a $2,000 suit, and I'm not going to, you know, dirty my suit. Then, you know, if you're still going to push the issue, you better have a good reason why. I think the courts would want to know, why are you doing it? If you're doing it as a matter of routine, maybe that's just not reasonable. But if you're saying for the movements, gang members, you know, we've had issues with these people before, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, then maybe that's the case that, you know, you push, right? So I don't know. Look, I wish it was an easy answer, but you do have officer safety rationale here. Make good judgments. Handcuffs will probably solve this issue, and you just kind of go from there, right? If they're not refusing to abide by your lawful commands. I hope you got something out of this video. I'm trying to help you get it right every single time. Until next time, my friends, you stay safe.